It is River City Wrestling Con weekend, and boy, do we have a special guest for you.
Hey, it's me, the Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart, WWE Hall of Famer, and Duke Loves Rasslin, baby. It's number one.
The Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart, joins us here to kick off the River City Wrestling Con special. That's right.
You're locked in.
Look at what we have here, folks.
To the only show that matters.
The cream of the crop.
Duke Loves Rasslin.
And there is no one that does it better than
your host.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
The Duke.
And I'm all out of bubblegum.
Brothers and sisters, the River City Wrestling Con, June 6th and 7th at the World Golf Village in St. Augustine, Florida. All of the wonderful stars, including Goldberg, Tori Wilson, Trish Stratus, Rey Mysterio, Micah Madrid, a.k.a. Sylvia Sanchez, Medusa, Leilani Kai, and Judy Martin. Oh, my God, the list goes on and on. Of course, we have Ruthie J., Noah Vale, that dude, John Davis. Oh, just an incredible lineup of stars from yesterday, today, and tomorrow. And certainly when we talk about stars, there is no brighter star than our guest to kick off this episode here. He is legitimately not only a pro wrestling Hall of Famer and legend, not only a music legend, but he is a pop culture icon. Brothers and sisters, join me in welcoming the Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart, to Duke Loves Rasslin. How you doing there, Jimmy?
Good morning, man. This is awesome. River City Wrestling Con, it's going to be bigger this year than ever. Can you imagine? Goldberg's here. Rey Mysterio's going to be here. Trish is here. Lita's here. It's so crazy. It's unbelievable. Over 100 vendor tables. So it's a wrestling fan's dream.
It's a wrestling fan's dream. And listen, Jimmy Hart is a wrestling fan, a music fan, a pop culture fan's dream, because you are going to be at the River City Wrestling Con as well. You're there. You were naming all the stars, Jimmy, but you left yourself out, brother. I'm telling you right now, man, it is so special, the fact that you are there at the World Golf Village down there in St. Augustine, Florida, for the entire weekend. Because, Jimmy, we can talk all day long about all the great things you accomplished in pro wrestling. I mean, you know, the list goes on. Memphis with Lawler and Andy Kaufman, you know, going up to the WWE and doing all the great things that you did. WCW, coming back to the WWE, TNA. You've been everywhere, Jimmy, and you've done it all and then some. But what I want to talk about is the fact that you are a legend in the music industry. I mean, come on, man. Number 4 on the Billboard charts with the Gentrys. You're a guy that has been there and done that so many times over. Talk to me about that. Talk to me about your music roots even before pro wrestling.
Well, you know, I've been so blessed. You know, when I first went to WCW and WWE, because of my music career back in the day, I was able to do such songs as The Wolfpack by Nash and Hall. Me and my partner wrote Shawn Michaels' Sexy Boy. All of Honky Tonk Man's greatest hits like a honky love, and you ain't nothing but a honky dog baby, the big ones, but, and the $1 Million Man. So we've had so much fun doing that, but it all started back in Memphis, Tennessee, back on MGM Records. We were just lucky. We came out of high school. We had a million seller. It took a little while to sell the 1 million copies of it, but it got to number 4 in Billboard. And then when our original group kind of broke up, I was the last man standing. I went over to Sun Records and I signed a contract with the late great Sam Phillips. Sam Phillips was the man who produced Elvis Presley, Johnny Cash, Jerry Lee Lewis, Roy Orbison, and many more. And we signed a deal with him. And then we had done a cover of Neil Young's song Cinema Girl. I had a top 40 record off that in Billboard. So it's been a crazy time, great career. We toured with the Beach Boys and Sonny and Cher back in the day. We did Hullabaloo Shindig, Where the Action Is, American Bandstand twice, and we were in the little movie called Bikini World. That was a big one, right? And but I've just been so blessed and so lucky. It's been unbelievable.
It's been unbelievable indeed. And, you know, listen, Jimmy, I'm the Duke. Okay, I do my research. I got people anywhere and everywhere, high places, low places, you name it, my brother. A little birdie told me that the Gentrys are making a comeback. In fact, there is going to be a new album coming out. So come on, Jimmy. I'm gonna pin you down on this one now, brother. Let's give Duke Loves Rasslin an exclusive here. Is it true that the Gentrys are putting out a new album? Because if that's the case, that means Jimmy Hart is going to be returning to the Billboard charts, right?
Well, we hope we will, but starting in September, Sun Records out of Nashville, Tennessee, the old label that Sam used to own, they went back in the archives and found a whole bunch of unreleased songs that the Gentrys on Sun didn't put out. And so it's going to be out. The album's called It's Been So Long by the Gentrys. And they've got like 8 brand new songs on it. Plus Cinema Girl's going to be on there too, our top 40 hit back in the day. And so, like I said, can you believe that? I got into wrestling to get out of music, and now all of a sudden I'm back in music and wrestling. So I've been blessed. I really have.
Oh, I love Cinnamon Girl. That is that Neil Young song that you guys covered, right?
Cover of Neil Young, and what happened, he was on Reprise or Reprise, however you pronounce it, and they really wasn't pushing that song very much. And then when he went to Warner Brothers, they kind of jumped back after we released the album. And see, here's what's crazy about it. I met Neil Young back in the 60s when we played the Whiskey A Go-Go. We did the Whiskey A Go-Go for 2 weeks, and we were the main event, I guess a wrestling term, of course, main event, the Gentrys, and our warm-up group was the Buffalo Springfield. And matter of fact, I got a picture on my phone that next time I see you, I'll show you. I'm going to show Nikki over here today just to let you know. A lot of people say if Jimmy Hart's lips are moving, he's lying. But like I said before, that's why it's so great to be here. I just walked into the arena over here, and I was looking where we're going to do the signing starting Saturday and Sunday, and the ring set up, and it looks so awesome, man. I've never seen anything like this in my life before. But all the tables are set up, and like I said, it's going to be superstar after superstar. If you're a wrestling fan, this is going to be a dream come true Saturday and Sunday.
A dream come true indeed. You're hearing it first from Jimmy Hart, the mouth of the South, folks. Absolutely. Get down to the River City Wrestling Con this weekend, June 6th and 7th at the World Golf Village in St. Augustine, Florida. Because, Jimmy, you've been reintroduced to a whole new generation because of that incredible Hulk Hogan documentary on Netflix. You were all over that thing. And really, when we talk about Hulk Hogan, we got to mention Jimmy Hart because you were with Hulk every step of the way, it seems like. I mean, whether we're talking in the WWF, even before that, in Memphis, the WCW run, the return to the WWF, TNA, Jimmy Hart was with Hulk Hogan at every turn. And it is just so special, man, for a fan to see something like that. From your perspective, Jimmy, because I know that was your buddy, that was your great friend there. Any reflections on Hulk that you want to share with us here?
Well, I've always said it's hard to kill a memory. Hulk and I started as friends almost 40, I guess maybe 40-something years ago. We started in Memphis, Tennessee together. I was in the band, the Gentrys, playing on tour with Dick Clark, but Jerry Lawler was a friend of mine. And so we went to high school together. So one day he invited me to come to the Coliseum down there, and he said, "What do you think about that big guy in the ring in there?" And I looked in, it's a guy named Terry Boulder, which what Hogan went by then. And it later on became the Hulk, of course. And from that day on, we became friends. And of course, then we went to New York together, then WCW together, back to New York together. And so we did all the little wrestling album we cut together too, the Wrestling Boot Band. We went overseas and promoted Mr. Nanny and Suburban Commando, all this movies and stuff, and did Thunder in Paradise together. We were friends for so many years, and of course, I really feel like he's in a better place right now with 12 back surgeries, knee replacements, hip replacements, just everything that happened to him in the wrestling business. You kind of ruin your body. It kind of goes kind of crazy when you're working 7 days a week, 52 weeks a year. But, Hulk was the best. He was awesome. He turned everything around up in New York. And, of course, when he became part of the NWO down in WCW, that really set new records attendance-wise, merchandise-wise, and everything, and kind of changed the name of the game back in the day. It really did.
Well, I'll just say, Jimmy, the fact that, Hulk chose to have you around at every step of the way, and you guys did so much great business together, that speaks to not only who you are as a businessman, not only who you are as a friend, but also who you are as a fellow legend. You add something to everything that you're involved in. And it's just so fantastic. And that's really the reason why you're at the River City Wrestling Con, because we know you can take everything to the next level when you have Jimmy Hart in the building. There's no question about that. And folks, this is exactly why. Bring everybody. Bring the babies, bring the grandparents, mom, dad, sisters, brothers, aunts, uncles. You know, like I always say, to quote Outkast, me, you, your mama, and your cousin too. Come out to the River City Wrestling Con. Come see all of the wonderful, wonderful stars, including Jimmy Hart. Because not only is he going to talk to you about wrestling, he'll talk to you about some music as well, Jack. And Jimmy, we got to get you back come the fall, because we got to talk about this wonderful new Gentrys album coming out. So everybody, when you talk to Jimmy Hart, definitely ask him about that Gentrys album.
Buddy, we might be doing some old wrestling hits like Sexy Boy by Shawn Michaels. I might turn around and do the Demolition song that we wrote, you know. And of course, they just got put in the Hall of Fame this past year. And then if somebody requests it, the Rougeau Brothers' big hit. Remember those words to that one? We don't like heavy metal. We don't like rock and roll. All we like to listen to is Barry Manilow. Yay! Jock, when we cut it in Memphis at Sun Studio, Jock goes, "Who's Barry Manilow?" And I went, "Oh my gosh, who's Barry Manilow? Man, he's got millions of records." But we've had so much fun through the years doing everything. And like I said before, but this River City Wrestling Con is going to be so unbelievable. I can't believe, like I said, over 100 vendor tables, so many superstars in wrestling. It's going to be unbelievable. Great wrestling matches. Nikki, is it going to be both nights wrestling or just Saturday? Both nights. Oh my gosh, man, double your money right there. But great parking facilities, great place to have the show. It's just going to be so unbelievable. And if you're worried about the hot weather outside, don't worry, because the air conditioner inside is working, baby. I'll assure you that. It's great here. But it's just such a great place to be. Great look. But you can spend the day with us. All kind of concession stands are going on. It's just going to be awesome.
Strictly for the culture every day. Step in style in your unique way. Patterns and colors so defined. All about the perfect line. Be yourself, let your spirit fly. In this fashion, you'll touch the sky. Strictly for the culture, brand so fine. Dress to impress and show your shine. Strictly for the culture every day. Step in style in your unique way.
Visit www.strictlyfortheculture.ca. You know, folks, one of my favorite things to do as we get to the week of the River City Wrestling Con is to bring on our great friend, the, you know, one half of the dynamic duo that put this whole thing together, that had a vision and really fostered this thing and grew it into the juggernaut that it is now. I love to have them on and recap and just really reflect on where they started and compare that to where they are today. So without further ado, the person that makes the world go round for the River City Wrestling Con, the one, the only, Mr. Nick Batey. What's going on there, Nick?
I'm doing well, Duke. How about yourself, man?
Well, listen, I'm doing fantastic, although I got a bone to pick with you here. And I'm gonna peel back the curtain a little bit for our listeners. I keep getting calls from everybody. Okay, me, you, your mama, and your cousin too. I keep getting calls from everybody. Hey, Duke, can you get me any more of those 4-packs? Can you get the family 4-packs for me? Like, people have been going crazy over this family 4-pack because the lineup this year is just so tremendous. I know that you had technically sold out before, but let's make our announcement here, Nick. Are you allowing a few more family 4-packs? Please say yes. Don't make me look bad in front of all of my audience here.
Well, just for you, Duke, we've saved a few here for River City Wrestling Con. The family 4-pack has definitely been one of our top moving tickets this year. We saved a few just earlier in the year. We noticed a trend, and we don't want to deter anyone from walking up just because we know in the area we're in that's common practice, but it's very few, just very few, just so we can comply with the venue regulations that we have this year, because it's definitely going to be our busiest year to date.
Yeah, it's interesting. The momentum for this year has been something like I've never seen before, quite frankly. I mean, you guys have always maintained a steady, engaged audience, but there's something about 2026 in this lineup. It just works on a scale that we really haven't seen before. So the demand has been so high, and you guys move these tickets like you were giving them away, basically. It's ridiculous how quickly they've sold. Technically, you're sold out, but you've held on to some tickets. I know that the walk-up business in Florida is traditional, so I know that you've been playing around to make sure you satisfy as many people as possible. But are you sweating bullets on this capacity issue at this point there, Nick?
I mean, we fully expect it to be a busy show day. I fully expect by doors we'll definitely be out of tickets for each day. I mean, it's such an incredible roster of people that we have. I mean, we have, I would say this is our first time really spotlighting the ruthless aggression era. I was reading through some comments on our Instagram page, and I saw a lot of people notice that, and it never occurred to me until I read that note that this is just such an incredible collection of people.
Absolutely. And this is the interesting part that I find about it, Nick. Not only are you spotlighting the ruthless aggression era, and obviously you have eras before and eras after as well, but the family-friendly aspect of things, there is such an appetite this year for having something that the entire family can do that's safe. Let me emphasize that again. That's safe. That is a good time, and there's something for everybody in the family. You're not seeing a lot of singles. You're seeing multiple tickets per capita for the most part, right?
No, that's 100% true. It's much different than previous years. In past years, it was just the weekend admission, the standard 2-day pass that would move the most. But this year, the one that's been moving the most by far is the family 4-pack, which in the past used to be one of our lower selling options, but it was definitely the best value because it's 4 tickets for the price of 3. But it's amazing just how the conversation around the event and just the general appetite for a fun, family-friendly event at this time has definitely transcended this year.
So again, I mean, you got some major exclusives, man, and I think that's really what the driver is, because you have somebody like the great Khali, who's coming all the way from India, doesn't make a lot of stateside appearances, so that's tremendous. You have Goldberg, who, little birdie told me that this is the only appearance for the rest of the year that he's going to be doing outside of, supporting his son Gage at the football games out there in Colorado. And then you have Rey Mysterio Jr., which once again, for a non-WWE appearance, this is the last one that he's going to have for the year. How the hell are you getting all these exclusives, man?
It's. I think it just has to go to the reputation of the events. I think the past few years, we've definitely shown the world what we're capable of doing. And last year was such a major year for us, just with Ric Flair praising just the operation, the venue, and even Bret Hart making a very rare stop in Florida for himself just to take part in our festivities. And the word travels. And this year, those two individuals, Ray Goldberg, the great Khali, Trish and Lita, they just couldn't wait to come back.
Now, you have a powerhouse team that is part of the whole mechanism here. So how valuable are folks like Scott Johnson and even our friends over at Farrah and Farrah?
I would say they're definitely just part of the team. I mean, Farrah and Farrah, they've been incredible to us over the past few years. This is our 3rd year really working together. And, Chuck and Eddie Farrah grew up old school wrestling fans, and whenever they saw the event for the first time in 2024, they were just blown away, because these are family oriented people themselves. Like their main legal team is really just their kids and relatives at the helm of it. And they understand the value in family and offering something that's clean and safe for everyone to enjoy. And the fact that that's combined with wrestling was just an easy yes for them. And they make the effort to appear every year, meet the fans, shake hands with the wrestlers. The fans just, they do a live on-air radio show whenever they're here with us. It's incredible. And then even with Scott Johnson, you know, the impact that this event has had on his career. He was able to launch a live show going ringside on the local CW affiliate that airs weekly before NXT in our area. So he records almost a year's worth of content just walking around the show and partaking in the Q&As. And he's taken a much more hands-on approach this year than previous, just to make sure that he captures the best look at the experience that he can.
Absolutely. And I mean, you know, shout out to Scott. This is an multiple Emmy award-winning broadcaster who just loves pro wrestling, and the River City Wrestling Con has been a great vehicle for him to express his love for pro wrestling and give back to the pro wrestling community. And it's such a great partnership. He does a very great job down there in Florida. And Farrah, I mean, those guys are celebrities, you know, despite the fact that they are lawyers and they have that serious job and what have you. They also are very good at promoting and marketing and investing in a family business that is also local. So they're great neighbors as a result of that, giving back to the community through the River City Wrestling Con and other things that they do. So overall, it's just fantastic partners in that regard. And speaking of fantastic partners, the World Golf Village. I mean, legitimately a premier destination, a place that completely classes up the concept of what a pro wrestling convention can be. Talk to me about the World Golf Village and how impactful it's been to partner with them the last few years.
Honestly, I think they've been a character themselves in the way that they've changed the culture of the event. The first year that we ran there back in 2024, I remember even talking to you, Duke, as well as some other wrestlers, and they just couldn't believe that this was in a venue that nice, just because of how elegant and well kept the venue is. Even though it's been around for several years, it still looks modern. You walk in and there's this big waterfall that you see right next to the check-in desk. And even just the convention halls are so well maintained. Their staff are just courteous and kind and professional. They take a lot of pride in what their facility has to offer. And even the food, the bar, like every aspect of the venue is just top notch the whole weekend. And this is something that they genuinely look forward to every year because it's such a big showcase for them.
It really is. It really is. And, you know, people who may not necessarily have felt welcome at a world-class golf facility and what have you and resort, you know, oh, that might be a little too ritzy for me. And I don't know. Now, you know, the River City Wrestling Con is converting those folks into true paying guests for the World Golf Village. So not only are you bringing them in for the event, but a lot of these folks are going back to that venue and spending money and doing additional vacations and what have you. So it really has been a fantastic vehicle for St. Augustine as a municipality in general. I mean, the River City Wrestling Con has really impacted that economy down there in a very positive way, right?
Oh, I would easily say so, because I even saw just in between the events, I saw wrestlers that never even attended River City Wrestling Con go down and make trips there. You know, like I'll shout out Santino Marella. You know, him and his family, I saw, I think it was 2024, 2025. Him and Ariana went down there and explored St. Augustine, or at least Ariana and Stax. I thought I saw Santino in one of those pictures, but regardless, I mean, it's crazy how you're starting to see it trickle down into those wrestling circles where you start to see that people are talking and they're coming back and taking pictures and exploring what that area has to offer. And honestly, it's the cultural heart of the state, because that is where the capital of Florida used to be before Tallahassee. So all of the history's right there. And it's incredible to see like how the state started in that one city, but then expanded to be what it is today.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And listen, man, I got to give you your kudos here, because the roster of women that you're booking this year, to be there for the fans, to meet and greet, get exclusive, access to different merchandise that you won't see anywhere else and things like that. It's just tremendous. I mean, throw the names at me right now. Who are some of the great women that folks can expect to see this year at the River City Wrestling Con?
I think the question is, who don't we have at this point? We have Trish Stratus, Amy Lita DeMa, Tori Wilson, your recent guest on Duke Loves Rasslin, Melina Perez making her return, and even just the depth of the roster that we have, Medusa, Sylvia Sanchez, Ruthie J, who will be main eventing our Sunday card against Kristen Blaze, who's making her first appearance at the show. I mean, the list goes on. We probably have I would say it's the best collection of women that we've had in a long time. Because before that, it was our 2024 where we had Trish and Lita for the first time, joined by Mickie James. But we've certainly expanded upon that this year, just with the collection of eras and even the live wrestling card. And on top of that, we're going to have the Glamour Girls, Leilani Kai and Judy Martin, for the first time, and this is such a big stage for them. And, you know, they were one of the first guests announced, but just the way that their legacy has redefined itself going into our 2026 event is incredible.
It's incredible indeed. And I'll tell you, man, I am so impressed with the fact that not only do you have all of these wonderful, wonderful celebrity guests here who are going to be at the event, but you and your team truly support them. I know that there are folks who online, you know, if they don't like a particular wrestler, or, you know, I saw some comments earlier, oh, you know, there's a lot of women being booked. And kudos to you guys for standing firm and saying, hey, we support the contribution that women have made to pro wrestling. And it's for that reason that we always make it a point to feature these wonderful, dynamic heroes and legends. And anyone who has a problem with that, you know, we don't even want your business. It is uncommon for any business, because of course the whole point of a business is to make money, so you don't necessarily want to drive anyone who might be a paying customer away. So it's uncommon to see a business stand firm and say, hey, do not talk to our guests that way. In fact, we don't even want your business if you have a problem with them.
No, of course. And that was such a random occurrence too. We've never had that issue before with our audience. And, you know, and just to hone in on the impact that the women's roster has had on the event, our biggest boom year, 2024, was featuring Sting along with the fantastic collection of women at the top. So you can't deny in the modern day the impact women have had, because even aside from my event, you just remove the convention element from the conversation and look at wrestling we see today, like 50 to 60% of WWE programming, at least on the main roster, features women. And you could argue NXT is probably maybe 60 to 70%, I would say. And even on the other promotions like TNA or NWA, there's still prominent women featured on those programs. So you can't accurately depict wrestling without putting a major spotlight on women. It's just not possible. And even that aside, these women do deserve a stage like a convention to really educate people on their legacy and then celebrate their legacy at the same time. So, you know, it's something that we deem to be very important, and we have a solid track record for several years of developing that over time and finding better ways to feature those talents on our show. So it's something that we do take with pride.
I remember the first conversation you and I had years ago, and I told you flat out, I said, look, bro, if you're not somebody that's serious about equitable diversity, then you and I are not going to mesh well together. And I don't want to have anything to do with your event. And you were like, Duke, take a look at what we've done so far. And I did. and it was there. And I got to give you your kudos, brother. You have stood firm and continued to not only promote equitable diversity, but it's not a gimmick for you. You guys really lean into this and mean it. And you can see it even in the marketing. People of color are not just in the background. Women are not just on the edges. Like it's really, I pay attention to these things, and it's really refreshing. You're really the only convention that I've ever seen in the pro wrestling space that consistently makes it a point to highlight everybody in an equitable manner. And brother, I got to tell you, man, I will support the River City Wrestling Con to the very end, because I know that you guys are doing the right thing for the community. You're doing the right thing for the wrestlers. You're doing the right thing for the fans. And when you touch upon all of those elements and get it right that way, it's not a surprise that your growth continues to just keep going up and up and up. How could it not, right?
Of course. And even back to 2019, we even had, even for our very first show, and that was our very, very first convention, we still had a stellar women's showcase, with Barbie Blank, being the hometown hero in a lot of ways for Jacksonville. She was there. We had Tenille Dashwood, formerly Emma, just after her departure from WWE, and Kiera Hogan. We had an incredible roster of women even for that show. So it's something that we've just taken a lot of time and energy to build as the years have moved forward.
How has the relationship with Duke Loves Rasslin been for you and the River City Wrestling Con? Because that's always the thing that people ask, like, wow, you really promote that event. And it's like, well, I believe in what they're doing. So it's easy for me to do that. But on your end, has this made a lot of sense?
I would say so, absolutely. I mean, just the response to this year's interviews alone. We can just not even talk about the past like we've been doing now and just look at now. I mean, just seeing the overwhelming response from talent and industry outlets at large to Ray, Goldberg, and Tori being featured on Duke Loves Rasslin, I think speaks for itself.
Indeed, which, great guests, great people, being able to highlight different aspects of who they are. They're not just wrestlers. They actually are human beings, and they're actually people who care about their family. And as far as I'm concerned, if you care about your family and you're somebody who's serious about those types of values, then yeah, I want to bring my family around you as well. Absolutely. So that's how that works. And I think that's a direct correlation to these packages that you folks keep moving so easily, because yeah, people feel comfortable bringing their family to an event like this. They know that everyone's going to have a good time, be entertained, and it's something that they don't have to feel weird about. It's like we can share this with our whole circle of friends and make people feel like, hey, I want to be there next year. Because that's the other thing in the comments. I noticed a lot of people, oh my God, I missed it this year. I want to be there next year. I noticed that there's more of that through the years as well. And certainly last year, that fear of missing out was tremendous, which probably translated into your ticket sales this year. Folks don't want to miss this thing, right?
No, I would definitely say we've moved into that can't miss category. I mean, just seeing Ric Flair's response last year was telling to me and my staff, because I know people, they say whatever they want to say about Ric Flair online, but I mean, he was very, very nostalgic whenever he was with us on that Saturday. And he even told us himself, reminded him of him and his son and taking him to events like this. And everybody was very positive with Ric Flair. He was very relaxed, and he posted about us twice. And he never does that. He even said it himself. He's like, I never post about events like this a lot. And he put out 2 posts just commemorating his time there. And I mean, that goes a long way where you can really just change the mood and attitude of somebody just by putting on something like this.
Absolutely. And again, that's being organized. That's making sure that you have proper security. So the guests the fans and everybody in between, the staff at the facility, everybody feels safe. And if you feel safe, then it's a lot easier to have a good time. And certainly the River City Wrestling Con delivers that consistently for everyone there. So once again, Nick, for anyone listening, I know that we're only a few days away at this point. Can they still get tickets online right now?
Yes. People can still get tickets online right now. There's very few available. This isn't just me overselling here. This is me definitely warning you guys. There's only a very select few in each category. So if you're going to move on these tickets, it's best to move on them as early as possible. Tickets will be increased to door prices on June 1st. And that's only on the available ticket tiers. We're not going to replenish any of them. So if one sells out, it's not going to be available, but the remaining ones will be increased to door prices starting June 1st. So definitely get them as soon as you can.
Lastly, Nick, when you reflect back on your dream of hosting your own pro wrestling convention and you and your dad, Sam, shout out to my man, Sam. He's always if Nick is the serious guy who has to make sure everything gets done a certain way, Sam is the comic relief. He lightens the mood and what have you, at least in front of everybody else. Behind the scenes, I know Sam's cussed me out a couple of times. Duke, why didn't you say this in that interview? I'm going to come get you. And it's like, okay, Sam, okay, I know, I understand. But, in front of everybody, though, Sam is great with a joke and a really good time. To see that father and son duo pull this off, when you reflect back to the beginning, when it was just an idea, and now here you are about to put on one of the most successful pro wrestling conventions in the world in a very, tough economy, in a very uncertain period in life for a lot of people. They're looking to the River City Wrestling Con to be able to forget about all the challenges in the world and just have a good time and be able to share that experience with their family. How has the journey been, bro? How do you feel reflecting on all this?
I think it's all come to fruition in a lot of ways. There's still a lot of work ahead of us to get where we want this to be, but I think in the years that we've been operating, with this being our 7th event, I think it's come a long way. There's a lot to be proud of there. I'm appreciative of, all the friends I made along the way and just the way that we've impacted a lot of people's careers and legacies in the time we've been around. So we just look forward to what's ahead.
As you probably have figured out, I am currently sitting in my happy place, Goldberg's garage. Now, I try to spend as much time here as humanly possible, but it's inevitable that I got to pack my bags and head out to the public. So, without further ado, my last appearance on the books for 2026 is coming up. June the 6th, St. Augustine, Florida, River City Wrestling Con. Make sure you're there so you can be next. Bah.
What's up, everybody? This is that dude, John Davis. You were listening to Duke Loves Rasslin.
Brothers and sisters, the River City Wrestling Con is fast approaching. If you don't have your tickets yet, I don't know what you're thinking, because the big announcement that not only Goldberg will be there, not only Tori Wilson, not only Trish Stratus, but now Rey Mysterio Jr., Mr. 619 is going to be there. So you definitely got to make sure you get your tickets for that. But not only that, the biggest feud in the history of River City Wrestling Con, it just keeps going and going. It's heating up. Two people that respect each other, but want to make sure the world knows who the better man is. And I'm talking about John Davis and our great friend, Noah Vale. So you've heard from Noah in the past. You know that we always have Noah's back and what have you. John Davis is an interesting case here. Someone who made their bones in Ring of Honor. And, I'm an original Ring of Honor fan, so I'm always going to show love to the Ring of Honor folks. But this John Davis, though, Mr. White Meat, Mr. Everyone loves them down in Florida and what have you. I'm sick of them. And that's part of the reason why here on Duke Loves Rasslin, I've gone out of my way not to have this person on the show because I'm sick of them. I'm sick of the kissing babies. I'm sick of the smiling. I'm sick of the do the right thing, shake hands with honor, the old school way to do things like Ring of Honor did when they first started. I'm sick of that. I want flashy. I want new school. I want no avail. Okay, you don't know what you're going to get, but you know you're going to get a good time, as opposed to this other discipline and respect and structure. We don't need structure in 2026, in my opinion. So I decided, you know what? Let me have this guy on the show and let them know directly how I feel, because this match right here is going to determine who the king of River City Wrestling Con is, and in my opinion, in 2026, this is the year of no avail. So without further ado, that dude, John Davis, Mr. Kissing Babies, Mr. Making the Fans Smile, Mr. Respectable, welcome to Duke Loves Wrestling.
That was a great intro for Noah. A fantastic job for Noah. You know, it's not a kissing babies. It's not a fans feel good thing. You spoke about shaking hands in Ring of Honor. Then you spoke about being a Ring of Honor fan. The thing about Ring of Honor and the thing about professional wrestling from my era, to sound like one of these old guys, is it's built on respect. It's built on determination. It's built on hard work. It's built on toughness, fortitude. The things that you need to do to succeed as a human, you need to do 2 times, 3 times over to succeed as a professional wrestler. Cool, flippy stuff and the dives and the sparkly gear, that's fine. That's just another topping on the cake that's professional wrestling. And everybody likes their flavors, no problem. My issue is we have guys, just like you just did, that want to proclaim that this is the way to go. And you're entitled to your opinion. What gets me is the disrespect. I'm not a keyboard guy. I'm not an internet guy. I have social media to promote myself. Other than that, I don't really mess with it. A fun thing about me is that if you're running your mouth about me and you want to poke your chest out, you should have that energy when I pull up on you, because I will pull up on you. And Duke, I respect what you do. I like what you do to help push this business forward. But under no circumstances should you feel comfortable talking out of the side of your neck about me, because I will come to where you are. That's the way that I was brought up in the old school way of wrestling. Some of your former guests, I'm sure Goldberg and Billy Gunn, and for sure Devon, feel the exact same way. So we can do this one of 2 ways. We can keep it moving in the direction that it's moving, or we can talk about the upcoming River City Wrestling Con, my match with Noah, and do this the proper way, like I would assume you want to do now.
Well, hold on. First of all, that dude, okay? People been coming on the show for years talking about that dude. Alan from River Horse Photography and Nick Batey at River City Wrestling Con and everybody else talking about that dude, John Davis. Listen, I'm not a wrestler. I want to make that clear. You put your hands on me, I might sue you. Okay? So let's make sure we're clear on that. You don't got to try to beat me up, buddy. You got to catch me first. First of all, I'm in Boston, Massachusetts, just so you know. You got to catch me first. But more importantly, no avail. I feel like part of your problem is you know that Noah is next in line. You know that new generation is coming. You know that all that shaking hands and code of honor and all that stuff, you know that's not the way to go in 2026. And you know Noah Vale is going to do the flippy dippy peanut butter skippy all over you. Come on, John Davis. I feel like you're afraid. I feel like you know that the sun is setting here on that dude.
So I have no problem admitting that I'm closer to the end of my career than I am the beginning of it. I have no problem admitting that there are younger guys, faster guys, stronger guys. My issue is if you want to prove that you're better guy than I am, you have to do it in the ring. Noah, all 140 pounds of him, has a lot of work to do. And as far as the respect thing goes, one of the highlights of Noah's career was surviving our match last year. One of the highlights of Noah's career was me standing Noah up and showing them the respect that they earned and they deserve. If they feel like they can beat me, great. If they can beat me, even better. But regardless of any of that, they're going to have to show that. So that's what we need to realize is happening in wrestling. It's not a I'm worried about the future, because I think pro wrestling will always be pro wrestling and it'll always be fine. Whatever the style's going to be is whatever the style's going to be. Because, you look at the 80s and you got Japan, and then 90s kind of evolved from there. And then the early 2000s with Ring of Honor hit, and all these styles kind of started coming to the forefront. That is what it is. I was brought up by guys who would go out and they do their thing in the ring. But again, to come back to our little thing that we're having now, we come find you. Boston isn't that far away. It's a couple hours on a flight for me. You don't have to be a wrestler. And you can sue me, that's cool. Maybe I go to jail, but guess what? I get out. And then we have this problem again. So, as I said before, let's move this along amicably. We'll tell the story, and everybody will understand what's happening, and you and I can be cool. Because I don't want there to be tension when we see each other, because I'm not one of those have long conversations and work it out kind of people. We can talk after the action, because I'm about that action. So I'll put the ball in your court. I'll let you decide, and then we'll go from there.
I don't want any action. There's no action. There's no action jackson over here. I don't want any problems with you, John Davis. Again, I'm not the wrestler here. But again, and I think it's funny you talking like this to me, a guy who, you know what? I'll admit, I will run away from you if I see you, because I know what you can do in the ring. I know how you hurt people. I know every time you step in the ring, it is a 5-star affair. There's no question about the fact that John Davis is that dude. But again, we're team no avail over here, Jack. We're team no avail over here. All
I
right.
respect
And
that.
and all of your students need to understand that when no avail defeats you, no avail becomes a teacher. What do you think about that?
I think that, with all due respect to Noah. Now, and let me say this. Noah represents my state. Noah feels the same way that I do, that a lot of people forgot about the state of Florida, forgot about the talent that came out of the state of Florida, forgot about what the state of Florida has done for professional wrestling. Not just recently, not just your Eric Stevens and your Roddy Strongs, but your Buddy Landells and your Grahams and all the things that happened. Championship Wrestling from Florida, all the people that helped build this whole thing that is professional wrestling. A lot of this happened in Florida, and people forget about that. But no one wants to bring that to the forefront, which is why I respect Noah, which is why Noah got their beads is in the Pantheon, which is a group that I represent as well. We want to move the business forward. Noah has to for themselves beat me. I've taken losses before. No problem. Part of the business. On any given night, any given person can fall to any given move. The burden of responsibility after this match is for Noah to continue to do what they need to do to continue to push the business forward. I've been doing this for 23 years now. You can talk to pretty much any guy that's one of your favorite flippy guys now, and they will have a story about how I helped them. They will have a story about what they learned from me, either physically in a match or backstage having a conversation about how they need to get better. And I'm not telling people that they're doing things wrong. I'm not saying, oh, well, this is wrong, this is stupid. That's not it, because, again, different flavors. But Noah doesn't have the ability to take over my students, because Noah doesn't have the knowledge. Not saying that they won't. And this is me being respectful. Not saying that they won't eventually get there, but they're not there yet, which is why Noah is in our group, because our OGs are bringing Noah up. Our OGs are bringing the business up. And when that bell rings, the first night of River City, which, by the way, This convention this year is based off of this match, not any of these other guests. The first thing announced was our rematch based off of what happened last year. And I plan for the exact same thing to happen this year. No disrespect to Noah, no disrespect to their ability. But when the bell rings, bell to bell, in any ring, in any state, in any country, in the entire world, you're going to be hard pressed to find somebody that's going to give it to people like I give it to people. And you can quote and clip that and put that on the internet. And if you want to argue with me about it, come find me in a ring.
Wow. Okay. I'm just trying to de-escalate here because I feel like I'm cruising for a bruise, and I don't know how we got here, John Davis, Mister kissing babies and shaking hands with fans, Mister Discipline, Mister Teacher, and what have you here. I don't know how I got to a point where now I'm in the line of fire, but I'm going to wrap this up right now because I don't want any problems. What's the best way that everyone listening can keep up with you, not just at River City Wrestling Con, which absolutely we know that you and Noah Vale on a collision course. We're going to find out who reigns supreme at River City Wrestling Con. But what's the best way fans can keep up with you beyond that?
You can find me at That Dude John Davis on Instagram, John Davis 817 at Twitter. I'm on a ton of promotions throughout the country, not just the Southeast. When you see this match or you hear this interview, hit up your promotions. Tell them to hit me up. I'll be more than happy to come show you why I'm that dude and how I do what it is that I do.
And for all you promotions in New England, do not book John Davis because I don't want that dude coming after me. We can talk about that. We are going to blackball John Davis from being booked in New England.
Won't be the first time I've been blackballed from somewhere, but I promise you that I will be there. And I'll do this. I'll do this. Since you had me on your show, and since you're helping promote this event, and since you've, in my opinion, done so much to help bring spotlights to guys in our business and help bring positive attention to our business, we'll give you the mulligan. So it's all respect when I see you. I appreciate what you're doing. Regardless of how you come off sometimes, you have your opinion, you're entitled to it. That's part of what makes our business great. So when I see you, it's handshakes, unless you get crazy again.
Welcome back to Duke Loves Rasslin. She's going to be at the River City Wrestling Con June 6th and 7th, so she's making her return to that wonderful convention. Micah Madrid, a.k.a. Sylvia Sanchez from Wow Women of Wrestling. How you doing, Micah?
I'm doing great. How are you doing? Thanks for having me back. River City Wrestling is like more, it's like meaningful more to me because that's where I was discovered, and being back there and then seeing all the new talent that's coming in and stuff, just being around that. It just, every time they're like, hey, you want to come to River City? Yeah, sure. I'll be there. You don't have to tell me twice.
I love that. It's your convention. Let's just call it what it is. River City Wrestling Con is your home, and the fans love you. They love to see you.
And it's funny because I haven't wrestled in Florida for a while since I got signed with WOW, because I'd always be at Shine, or I'd be wrestling for Cahagas or Francisco at WWN. And it's funny how everybody's like, hey, I can't wait to see you again. So like last year when I went back to Florida, there was still all these wrestling fans, and they're like, hey, I've been seeing you on TV. You haven't come back here. How come? And I'm like, you guys still remember me? Wow. So it's like really amazing, And then every year it's like it grows. Like last year, I'm like, oh, this is big. But no, I'm like, this year is going to probably be bigger. Every time it's growing.
Well, it does. And the reason why it grows is because of people like you. For the fans who are going to be at River City Wrestling Con this year, what can they expect from you?
They can expect a show that they will not want to miss, because I will be facing Ruthie J. Me and her have been in the ring together before. So apparently we're supposed to be doing a tag match. So we'll see how that goes. And then I'll be wrestling another young lady, Madison Maxwell. So we'll see how it goes. Give them a good show.
All right, brothers and sisters, we're going to keep this train going here because I'm going to tell you right now, one of the funniest people, not only down south, not only in Florida, but possibly in the whole damn universe, is going to be at the River City Wrestling Con, and he has a huge feature. And listen, you all are welcome. So I don't care who you are, me, you, your mama, and your cousin too. You got to check this dude out because he is hilarious. He's a great time. Also, he is a veteran. So when we talk about people that we love to support, got to support our veterans. And when it comes to these days, any chance you get to have a good time, share some laughs, let's jump all over it. So without further ado, the last Leroy. Welcome to Duke Loves Rasslin. What's up, brother?
Oh, what's going on, man? I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you, man. Thank you so much. And everybody, how y'all doing?
Now listen, Leroy, this is we're recording this and then I'm going to put it out. It's not live, so just so you know, no one's going to be responding to you other than me, man.
Oh no, that's fine. I know. I do a lot of live stuff too, but it's just me. I know that by the time you all hear this is probably going to be a couple of days from now. But hey, listen, still, how y'all doing? I hope y'all day going bye bye.
Exactly. So listen, man, I think it's fantastic that you're going to make yourself available to be at the River City Wrestling Con. What can folks expect when they see you there, man?
Well, me personally, I think I am a bag of everything. I kind of hold a lot of stuff together, but they're going to enjoy themselves because I got an idea about how wrestling goes since I was a fan since the Attitude Era, and before that, like Saturday Morning Superstars, when you was hoping to see Hulk Hogan on the screen. Then you had my favorite tag team, the Nation, no, not the Nation Domination, the Demolition. And everybody used to be like the Demolition, but then you had the Road Warriors. No, I was a Demolition fan. But, I mean, listen, you're going to have some fun. I'm going to talk about some stuff. I might be borderline offensive, and if you get offensive, I just tell you to ask God about it.
That's right. Ask God about it. He'll sort it out. You got that right. Now, listen, man, you said Demolition. Did you see at the WrestleMania this year, Nia Jax and Lash Legend, they actually dressed up as Demolition. Those beautiful.
Yep.
Yeah. Did you see that?
I didn't see it because I was busy that weekend, but I saw the pictures of it, and I got excited. I was like, I almost lost myself. But, but I keep that reserved. I keep that reserved.
I know. Yeah, man. Listen, man, don't let them see you sweat now. You got to pretend like you've been there before, right?
Right, I got to let them know, yeah. But a little bit of sweat came down, just a tad.
Just a tad. Now, when are you going to be performing your set, man?
I am on the show with the headliner. My set will be right before his, and then we'll roughly about 15, 20 minutes, get the crowd hyped up to get ready for the headliner to come out and do his thing. But they'll enjoy themselves. Me, I'm family friendly. I do a lot of discussion about what goes on personally in my life to make it ideal for other people to be related, to make it relatable. So at the end of the day, they're going to enjoy themselves, and they're going to definitely know where I'm coming from.
Yeah, I love that. Family-friendly entertainment, folks. That's what we always tell you about with the River City Wrestling Con, something that everyone from the babies to the grandparents and everyone in between can show up at. As you heard earlier in this episode, Nick pointed out that the family 4-packs, those are the things that sell like hotcakes, and it's very unusual. Normally you have singles and doubles. The fact that people are ponying up to get that family 4-pack so much to the point where it's sold out, that's a big deal. That's a very big deal, and certainly the last Leroy is going to make it worth your while. In addition to seeing folks like Rey Mysterio and Goldberg, Tori Wilson, Melina, the list goes on and on. Now, Leroy, I got to be honest with you, man. A little birdie told me that you've been listening to Duke Loves Rasslin lately, and you took issue with what I had to say about a certain NBA player. And, I respect you, Leroy, and I'm a fan of your work. I think you're a great dude, funny dude, and what have you. But I need you to understand something about the Duke, okay? Because at 5 feet 6 inches, I'm small but mighty, okay? You can hear it in the voice. I'm a size 13 too, all right? Just so you know, just so we're clear on that, Leroy. So when I say a humanoid like Wemby, who thinks that it's acceptable to be 2 feet taller than me, not even just 1 foot, right? The fact that the man is 2 feet taller than me and he bopping around, he's going to the NBA finals. He think he's going to be a champion this year. I have an issue with people like that. So what I need from you, Leroy, because you're a military guy, you're a father, you're a productive member of society. I need you to help me deal with my Wemby problem. Can you do that for me, Leroy?
Yeah, no, I think I'm proud of you for having such a strong, what do you call it? You have a panache about yourself, that gall that says I can do everything and anything. But this man is man, come on, this man is. I saw on the thing said you was going to be able to dunk on him, and that made me laugh so hard. I was like, as 5'6", I think, brother, you're gonna have to get like a step stool or something to get up there on up there by that rim, and then you're gonna do this right in this man's face. Okay, well then listen, I just pray that everything work out for you, that you make it in the air, because he's gonna push you back down.
Come on, Leroy. I thought of all the people on this planet, you'd have my back on this one, man. Come on, Leroy.
But listen, I got faith in you. You know, I got faith in you. I believe that you can do it, because they say you can do all things when you put your mind to it. But some things that your body just can't do what the mind wanted to do. If you got hops like that, well, then I commend you, brother, but I don't see that happening. You know what I'm saying? If you could do it, then record it, then put it on Facebook and then TikTok so we could all see how you can make these millions.
You try to make me go viral in all the wrong ways, man. I know what you're doing here, Leroy. I see what you're doing.
Yeah, you're gonna go viral, all right. They're gonna be like, you're gonna get your feelings hurt. The world don't like nobody that think they better than somebody, man. And you think you better than this brother who's professional now? Oh man, you got one thing coming, man. But I got faith in you. If you do it and you record it, I promise you, I'll post it to all of my people so that they can see it. And then yeah, you'll definitely go viral. That's for sure. You're gonna make some money.
Listen, you keep it up, man. I'm gonna go out and get my Reeboks. I'm gonna pump it up. Okay, Joe Budden, I'm gonna pump it up. Okay, I'm gonna bust out the old school, the police athletic league jersey going all the way back to the early '90s. I'm gonna come prepared here, Leroy. You kidding me?
That is funny that you still have the pump it up Reeboks with the little basketball on the front on the lip. Is that what we're talking about?
Of course that's what we're talking about. Old school, Jack.
Oh, my gosh, yeah. Yeah. Okay, so, yeah, you just might do it because they said they give you a couple of feet of hops. So, you know what? I take everything I said back. I want you to put those shoes on, right? Pump yourself up. Make sure you put some LED lights around it so when you get airborne, they'll see where you're going. I think you can do it, brother. I got high-definition DSLR cameras that I can record it from 3 different angles. I can promise you it's going to look fabulous when you dunk on Wemby.
See that? I knew I would win the last Leroy. Oh, not the first, not the second. We're talking about the last Leroy. I knew I'd win him over. He got my back. Wemby, watch yourself, brother, because the last Leroy just said that I can dunk on you. You got that right.
Yep.
You got that.
Yep, he gonna do it too. I promise you. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Don't give me false hope now, Leroy. Don't do that to me.
I got faith in you. I'm sending everything towards all the good things, all of the positivity and everything. I think you can do it, brother. I say, forget what anybody else say. I do it in my Denzel Washington voice. You can do anything that you want to do if you put your mind to it.
Now, hold on a second. How were you the last Leroy? What happened there? What did you do with the other Leroys?
My age is 46. I don't know any younger Leroys. I ain't gonna even lie to you. If you know a younger Leroy, then I'll change my name. But as of right now, I was doing the show with comedian Chocolate that was seen on Comic View and everything like that. And I did a joke about me being the last Leroy. And she was like, you know what, that should be your stage name. And I was like, all right. So I tried it out and it just stuck with me. So that's how the way it's been ever since.
Listen, he is the last Leroy. I am the Duke. And Wemby, you are going to get the cross, the ankles broken, the dunked on. Okay, that's what we're talking about. And folks, you are going to be at the River City Wrestling Con, so you can check out the Last Leroy and all of the wonderful folks out there at the World Golf Village in St. Augustine, Florida. Once again, June 6th and 7th. RiverCityWrestlingCon.com. There's only a few tickets left. Okay, we're pretty much sold out here. You might be able to scrape a couple more. Just go to the website, do what you can. Don't wait for the walk-up. I'm warning you folks, we had some problems last year. Some folks in Florida, they like to do the walk-up business, and this event is too big for walk-up. They had sold out. So I don't know if you know what I'm talking about there with that now, Leroy, but, you know, if you ain't doing it online, man, you're in trouble. You know what I mean? You can't depend on the door now.
No, you can't. You got to make sure that you get it in advance. This is an event that's going to be exceptional and spectacular, man. I know I'm excited about being here. I can't wait for it to start.
Now, can we get you in the wrestling ring there, Leroy? Because I know a lot of those wrestlers, and I'm thinking somebody strong, somebody who can really get it done. You know, maybe Medusa or Tori Wilson. You know, maybe we'll get Rey Mysterio to give you a 619. What do you think, man?
I'm down for it. If somebody can suplex me or give me the 619 by anything dealing in there. If you put me in the ring and you're able to do that and y'all record it, then I am all for it.
Wow. Okay. Look at this. This man is ready for action here. You hear that, Triple H? Forget about Jelly Roll. We got to get the Last Leroy up in there at SummerSlam. Come on now. We can get it done.
Right.
We can get it done.
Triple H. I make sure he spit out his water on the outside of the ring and wet everybody up with his saliva. Time to play the game. I've seen him all that spitting and stuff. Keep the water in your mouth. You got COVID and got this new hantavirus running around, spitting perfectly good Aquafina all over the place.
Listen, don't get me shut down now, Leroy. You know Triple H listens to this show now.
Oh, that's fine. You can listen to it. My name is the Last Leroy, Triple H. You heard what I said. You find me if you want to, okay? And then we can talk about it in the back. But I've seen all of them. I remember when you was Hunter Hearst Helmsley before you became Triple H. Oh, hot Sadiddy and hot Mighty. But then you come out, want to be part of you and Shawn Michaels create the daggone D-Generation X with X-Pac and all of them. I've been there. I've seen it all. But I think I could take them, beard and all. Mine better than his.
I love it. I love it. Listen, Leroy, what is the best way everyone can keep up with you, man? Because you just all over the place. You crazy, man, but I love it. Hilarious. How can they keep up with you online, brother?
Okay, man. Anybody that's listening to me right now, you can find me on all of your social media outlets under The Last Leroy. Right here in Jacksonville, I run Jacksonville's #1 mental health podcast called the Anger Management Podcast that's meant to help develop and strengthen men's minds. So that way we can stay fervent in this fight that we have to deal with every day. So that's how you can find me. I appreciate everybody's support.
Brothers and sisters, you know I am always talking about staying hydrated. We got to get those B vitamins in. I always walk with something to drink, and I encourage you to do the same thing, especially as we creep into the summertime. Well, I want to let you know that our friends over at Liquid IV have a new energy multiplier. And get this, it's sugar-free, no jitters energy with a hydration-first formula designed to keep you going without the crash. The wonderful flavor that they have right now is lime margarita. And certainly, you know, I couldn't get through Duke Loves Rasslin if I'm crashing. I got to stay up. I got to stay hydrated. Most importantly, got to stay focused. And certainly that's what Liquid IV can do for you, just like it does for me. But don't take my word for it. If you haven't ordered at liquidiv.com before, head over there. You're going to save 20% when you use the promo code REFRESH. REFRESH. Now, if you're a veteran of Liquid IV, meaning that you've partaken in some of the wonderful codes that we've run through the years, then as always, use the promo code Duke Loves Rasslin. You'll save your traditional 10%. I just want everybody to be hydrated. I want you to have safe energy. Most importantly, I want you to have a good time. So please visit liquidiv.com. Use those promo codes, save some money, stay hydrated, and now let's get back to Duke Loves Rasslin. All right, brothers and sisters, we're keeping this train going because I'm telling you, the River City Wrestling Con, this is it, man. This is the big event. If you don't have your tickets yet, I don't know what to tell you. I cannot guarantee you that you're going to get in. I know that they held some tickets for some folks who've shown up at the door, but it's very, very limited. I'm telling you, jump online right now. Try to get some of the last of what's available because there's no guarantees. And you don't want to miss the River City Wrestling Con this year because they have a legitimate icon in professional basketball. Okay, we have a man who not only was making waves in the NBA, but also was making waves for the Puerto Rican national team. And this guy, I'm telling you right now, he is my secret weapon. Okay, my secret weapon against that damn Wemby who thinks he's going to get away with trying to be 2 feet taller than the Duke. So in order for the Duke to make things happen in this world, I had to go out and find a brother who is big, who is strong, and who is capable of teaching the Duke how to dunk. Because, see, you already know, folks, the Duke can cross you up, okay? I'm Timmy Hardaway. I got the killer crossover. I can do that. Damon Stoudemire, I could do all that. Isaiah Thomas, I could do all that. But I need to learn how to dunk. So I had to go get a real professional, a professional not only in the pro wrestling world, but also in the pro basketball world. Ladies and gentlemen, my secret weapon, PJ Ramos. What's going on there, PJ?
What's up, guys? What's up? How you doing, man?
I am doing fantastic, my brother. Listen, it's very important for the folks to know, man. You're going to be at the River City Wrestling Con signing autographs, saying hello to all the kids and the grandparents and the parents and everybody else, having a great time. We know that you're going to be the man this weekend. Clearly, you're going to be the tallest man in the room at 7'3". But before we even get to all that, I need you to tell the world, PJ, since you and I have been working out together and you've seen what I can do on that basketball court, I need you to tell the world why you know beyond a shadow of a doubt that at 5'6", the Duke is going to dunk on Wemby. Let them know, brother.
We've been working hard, man. You know, I seen what you've been doing, the potential. I'm going to get you there. You're going to dunk on Wemby. I promise you that.
See, I try to tell all of you out there that the Duke is going to make it happen. Okay? You don't understand, folks. I've been doing all of my calf exercises. I went out and got those special sneakers, you know, the ones where it's elevated on the foot so that you're just basically flexing your calves all the time and jumping up and down. Listen, PJ Ramos is a great coach. He has been working on my strength and conditioning. Okay, he has made sure that I'm waking up early, that I'm getting to bed early, all so I can accomplish this goal of dunking on Wemby. All right? Now, PJ, you're only 7'3", which, you know, I got to be honest with you, bro. I was a little disappointed in that because you're taller than me as well. But you and I somehow, some way managed to get things together and be on the same side here. Why is it important for you to help me accomplish this goal?
First of all, you're my brother. You know, I'm always here to help you with anything. You know, we've been training hard every day. Mostly we've been doing legs so we can get your legs strong because for you to dunk, you got to work on your legs. We do upper body later. Legs is the most important thing for you to dunk on Wemby so the world can see what you can do.
You hear that, folks? You hear that? If PJ Ramos, now this man defeated Team USA. Tell him, PJ, tell him about what you and the Puerto Rican national team did to Team USA when they tried to step out of line with you. Tell him.
Oh, man, it was a great experience, man. I was young. I was 17 years old playing with the adult Puerto Rican national team. At the beginning, we didn't even think we could do it because, you know, we're talking about the best NBA players in the world playing against Dwayne Wade, Kobe, Tim Duncan, Iverson, all them people. That was a wild experience. But I'm going to be honest with you. We won that game. We celebrated. We did all that. But here comes the worst part. That's the only game we won in the tournament.
Wait.
We wasted.
You're not supposed to admit that, man. Come on now. We're trying to rewrite history here. Don't tell the world that was the only game you won. Now, what's happening here?
I think we wasted all the energy in one game, you know, and you know we was happy, you know, because being Team USA was like winning the championship. Because in the Puerto Rican history, we never beat Team USA. And for us to do that was like making history for our island, and it was like winning the championship. Because as soon as we pulled up in Puerto Rico, they celebrated us like we won the championship. And it was a great experience, something to keep for life and tell other people about.
I love that. And you know what's funny about that, folks? All you have to do is head over to your computer or pull up your phone right now and type in PJ Ramos, and you'll see the man's Wikipedia. This is not a joke. Legitimately, and this brother, mi gente, I mean, I'm going to tell you right now, the fact that he and his comrades, part of the Puerto Rican national team, were able to beat the greatest basketball players in American history, that just tells you everything you need to know. That was like a dream team that got destroyed by my brother, my mi gente, PJ Ramos, okay? You got to understand something here, all right? So when I go out and I get a PJ Ramos to help train me so I can take on Wemby, I'm not playing around, Jack. I got the best of the best here, you know? Now, PJ, you played in the NBA as well. Let folks know the teams that you played for in the NBA.
Well, I was drafted when I was 18 as soon as I graduated high school. I got drafted. I had an option to go to college or go to NBA, and at that time, I think the NBA was the best option because we're talking about the NBA, you know, the best league in the world. And it was a good experience. You know, I got drafted with Washington Wizards in Madison Square Garden. That was the best part, that I got drafted in my city, New York, where I was raised and learned how to play ball. I was in the NBA with the Wizards for a few years. Then I decided to go overseas. I had a great experience playing overseas because playing overseas, you learn a lot more things. Playing in different countries, playing in different teams, the culture, the food, the cities, the countries. I travel all over the world. I played in China for 9 years. The Philippines, 2 years. That was the best country, beautiful country where I played, where I met my idol and one of my brothers, Manny Pacquiao. He was one of the owners of one of the teams. I played in Taiwan. I played in Spain for 2 years. You know, I've been all around the world. You know, I think those are the best leagues after the NBA, after Spain. Those are the other best leagues. But it was a great experience, you know, something I can talk about for life because I feel like I was the only Puerto Rican player to cross over to the other side of the world and open the doors for other Puerto Rican players to go play overseas.
Wow. I love that. I love that, man. And you're absolutely right. You are beloved around the world because not only of your skill, but you're known as a great dude. And I could speak to that personally as well. You know, you're not afraid of different. You're not afraid to immerse yourself in other cultures and what have you, which is why you've been embraced so much worldwide. Talk to me more about Pacquiao, because I totally missed that point there. He was an investor in the team that you played for in the Philippines. what was it like getting to know a fellow legend, basically? Because, you know, Manny Pacquiao is one of the greatest boxers of all time.
In my heart, in my head, I think he's the greatest. You know, Manny is the most humble person you can ever meet. When I tell you this dude used to pick me up every day and take me to his huge mansion and eat, it was an experience I would never forget. So I'm going to tell you how this happened, right? So I just got back from playing in China, went back to Puerto Rico, rest up, because I was going to play in the Puerto Rican League. I always used to go play overseas, go home, rest for 2 weeks, and then play in the Puerto Rican League. So I get this call from my agent, that he's still my agent, Giovanni, from L.A. He's like, yo, Pete, what you doing? I'm like, nah, I'm just resting, chilling. He like, yo, you want to go play in Philippines? And I'm like, yeah, sure. And he like, well, you know who's the owner of the team, right? I'm like, nah. Manny Pacquiao. I'm like, what? I'm like, nah, you lying. And he knew I was a huge fan of Manny. So I'm like, nah, he messing with me. And I'm like, Pete, I'm not playing with you. I'm serious. The owner is Manny. I'm like, bro, just send the contract. I don't believe you. I'm like, all right, don't say I didn't tell you. So he sent the contract over. I signed it. And in a week, I'm traveling to the Philippines. So as soon as I landed in the Philippines, it was the best treatment I ever had in my life. I had a driver. I had an assistant. I had a cook. Manny treated me like a king. So they take me to this hotel, and the driver is like, yo, P, we're going to pick you up at 7 o'clock to go to dinner with the team and the owner and the coaches, the manager, everybody. And I'm like, okay, cool. So, you know, there's a 12-hour difference. Plus, I'm nervous. I'm like, damn, is it true? Is it true? So I couldn't take a nap. Even though in Puerto Rico was nighttime, Philippines was daytime. And I'm like, damn, all right, cool. So 30 minutes before he picked me up, I was so hyped, I started doing push-ups in my room. And I'm like, damn, what am I going to do? Like, let me just focus. So I get ready. The driver picked me up, and he takes me to the best hotel in the Philippines. When I tell you it was the best hotel, the hotel looked like a castle from Disney. It was crazy. I never seen nothing like that. So as soon as they open the door, I walk in. The team is there. And when I look to the right, I see Manny Pacquiao with the coaches. And I froze. I'm like, what the hell? So I thought I was dreaming because, you know, Manny's my idol. You know, Manny's always been my idol, my favorite boxer, everything. Because he's so humble. That's the most thing I like about him. He is humble. And when you're humble, you can do a lot of things. So then I see one of the coaches be like, yo, Pete, sit right here. So it took me like 5 seconds to move because I froze. So I'm like, I walk to the table, and the manager slides to the next chair, and he's like, yo, Pete, sit right here next to Manny. And I sit right there, and I couldn't even open my mouth for nothing. I'm froze like a kid, I'm telling you. And Manny taps my shoulder, and he's like, yo, Pete, I'm a big fan of yours. I always wanted to bring you here. And I looked at him, I'm like, no, I'm a big fan of you. And he was like, I'm so happy you're here. And after that, we established a good relationship, like a brother relationship. And, you know, Manny's the type of dude that he'll put his people first. And that's one thing I love about Manny. Anything I needed, I call him, and whatever I needed was in my hands in 10, 15 minutes the most. That's how humble that dude is. I remember that year when the season was over, Manny pulled up on me and he said, "Yo, Pete." And that was the year, if you remember, that was the year that he was going to fight Mayweather.
Mm.
And I was like, "Yo, what's up?" He's like, "Yo, Pete, I need a favor from you." I'm like, "What's up?" He's like, "I want you to go to the fight with me. I want you to carry the belts to the ring." And I was like, "What?" I'm like, "Yes, it will be my honor." And I'm like, "Hell yeah, let's do it." So I go back to Puerto Rico. At that time, I was playing with Bayamon. We was in the finals. And the fight was coming up. And I'm like, damn, what am I going to do? So, even though I knew the owner of the team was going to say no, and I understand because I was in the finals, I asked him, he said, "I can't do that, Pete. We need you." And I'm like, "It's only one day." "Nah, I can't do that, man. I can't risk it, blah, 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 blah." And I'm like, damn. I was sad, you know what I'm saying, because it's a one-time experience. But, you know what I'm saying, it was the best year of my life. Meeting that man, a man of God, taught me a lot. Humble person, does a lot for this community, did a lot for me, and that's something I'm never going to forget in my rest of my life.
Wow. What an incredible story. And shout out to the Pac-Man, Manny Pacquiao. Legitimately a legend. And that's all I've ever heard about him is just how nice of a person he is, like you said, to his people. And when we say his people, we're not just talking about the Filipino people, but we're talking about anyone who expresses their faith and wears their faith like he does, anyone who dedicates themselves to helping others, being a good person. Manny's going to show up for them. So that's very great to hear you tell that story there. Now, did you ever go out and do any karaoke with Manny? Because he loves to sing.
We went to a couple spots, after we won a game. You know what I'm saying? You know how this is, you know what I'm saying? You win a game, you go celebrate. And the most important thing about that is, even though before I showed up, Manny had a team that never made it to the playoffs, bad record. I'm going to tell you this too. When I pulled up, I changed the whole story. I changed the whole story because this team did things that never did in their career. Because that team was always in almost last place. Manny was the type of dude that when he sees that his team is improving, that he bought somebody that is going to help him do better and make the team go higher, he always treats the team to a good time. Either he takes them to have a couple of drinks or he's going to take the team to go eat. That was the type of dude Manny was. Manny is the most humble person that I have ever met in my life. Because I know a lot of celebrities, but Manny, Manny is another level. I think Manny for me, in my head, Manny is the best boxer in the world. But some other people, Manny is the second best boxer after Mayweather. But, at the end of the day, you are the best when you are humble. When you are humble and you believe in God. And this dude was doing both.
I love that. PJ, it's interesting to hear you tell that story, man. And I think sometimes it gets lost in translation, just the fact that you are this massive star in sports. What made you decide to transition over to pro wrestling? Because you could have just stayed being a basketball guy, but you're now slamming people around. And I know that you're a belt collector. You've won 5 different championships all over the nation, and you go around the nation defending these 5 different championships. So it's like I'm not going to say you're Andre the Giant. You're PJ Ramos, the unstoppable force, basically. Why pro wrestling after your stellar basketball career?
I've always been a fan of wrestling. When I used to live in Brooklyn, I used to watch wrestling all the time with my brother. And back in the day was WWF. Back in the day was when it was Ultimate Warrior. Every time Ultimate Warrior used to come out, I used to wild out. That's how big of a fan I am. And people ask me, who's your favorite wrestler? I say Ultimate Warrior. Ultimate Warrior was somebody that inspired me to do wrestling just because his charisma, the way he was, his energy. And every time they said Ultimate Warrior fighting today, I used to sit in front of the TV, cross my legs, and watch him. Me and my brother. I remember every time my mother used to go to work, I used to wrestle with my brother. And the way we used to do it, we used to take the beds and throw it on the floor. You already know how that used to be back in the day. And we used to slam each other, have fun. But after that, Mom used to pull up and beat our butts. I'm telling you. Put that mattress back. But, I always been a wrestling fan all my life. I changed my career when coronavirus came. That's when everything stopped. Every sport all over the world, everything was closed. That's when I was like, this is it. Because I was doing wrestling and basketball before that. At the same time, I used to go from practice to drive an hour to an event and do wrestling. But, I was like, I've done everything. I already done everything in basketball. I don't have nothing to prove no more. You know what I'm saying? I want to do wrestling. So when coronavirus came, that's when I was like, you know what? This is it. And I stopped. There were teams, countries that they were mad, you know what I'm saying, because they wanted me back. But, like I said, I had nothing to prove no more. And that's when I changed everything. I changed my body. I changed my diet. I changed my training. And that's when I dedicated myself to being a wrestler, being who I am now.
I love it. And I think that's smart, man. You have to adjust. That's what life is about. And even though you made that adjustment, you still stayed close enough to sports and close enough to entertainment that it makes sense. When we talk about an event like the River City Wrestling Con, St. Augustine, Florida, it's at the World Golf Village, which is a PGA golf course, right? So a lot of families show up. The family 4-pack in particular is the most popular package that got sold this year, just like last year. So people are showing up together. This is truly parents and grandparents bringing their kids and what have you, aunts and uncles bringing their nieces and nephews. What can the fans expect when they meet PJ Ramos, the basketball superstar, the pro wrestling 5-belt champion? What can they expect when they meet PJ Ramos? I'm
telling you, when I first went to that event 2 years ago, it was the best experience of my life. Not even for me, but for the fans. Because the crazy thing about the fans is they get to see a real 7-footer. You already know how wrestling is. You already know how wrestling is based on the TV. You know what I'm talking about. But they get to see a real 7-footer. And they're like, what the hell? I'm like, yeah, this is a real 7-footer. And not throwing shade, because I'm not like that. I'm a humble person. But, when I was young, and you remember when Kane used to wrestle, that's one of my favorite wrestlers too, Kane, Big Show, they used to be like 7'2", 300 and something pounds, 400 and something pounds. And when you see them face to face, they're not 7-footers. Not throwing shade, because this is part of the business. But, I saw Kane, I saw Big Show, I saw Kevin Nash, And I was like, damn, like, these people are small, you know, but on TV, everybody looks big. And that's something I learned a few years back. The experience doing this event and going to this event is out of this world because I get to see my favorite wrestlers. Like last year, last year too, I met Bret Hart. Bret Hart saw me and he was like, what the hell are you waiting for? And I was like, well, you know, I didn't know what to say, but, you know, at the same time, you know, I have a lot of dreams. And one of my dreams is make it to WWE. You know, even though WWE knows about me, they talking about me. I got AEW talking about me. New Japan talking about me. And, you know, that's my dream. And I told them, like, you know, I don't make that decision. You know, I just got to wait for the call. You know how this is. You got to wait for the call. And even though I'm still waiting for the call, you know, I still train hard every day. I still work on my body for when that call comes, I'm there. But, you know, other than that, you know, it's a big experience because you get to see the fans. You get to see the reaction when they see you. You get to take pictures with them. You get hugs from fans that they wanted to see you, you know, and when they see me, it's like hugging Barney, you know, and they go crazy, you know, they go crazy and I love it. The experience is out of this world. You meet so many people. Like last year I told you I met Bret Hart. I spoke to DDP. We was laughing. He was talking to me. I was talking to him. Like, he was the most humble person. I met Rob Van Dam. I took pictures with Ric Flair. You know, I met Riddle, that he was right across my table, and we was joking all day. You know, it was the best experience ever, you know. And you get to meet people that when you get old, you get to talk about this. You get to talk about this with kids, with family, grandkids, nephews, anybody, and they're going to be like, what? I'm like, yeah, I met that dude. Humble person. And, you know, I can't wait to get there, to be honest with you, and do it back again and do it better than last year and the year before that. You know, just give the fans a good opportunity to meet a 7-footer and to take a great experience back home.
Wow. You hear that, folks? This is exactly why you want to be at this year's River City Wrestling Con. Of course, you're going to meet Goldberg and Rey Mysterio, Tori Wilson, Medusa. You're going to see Micah Madrid, a.k.a. Sylvia Sanchez. You're going to see Ruthie J. You're going to see all these great stars. And, of course, you're going to see the pro basketball player turned pro wrestler, the legitimate 7'3" PJ Ramos. Wow. My brother. PJ, let everybody know the best way that they can keep up with you. I mean, I know that you have a bunch of different things going on, man. You're going to be all over the world. If they want to know where you're going to be next outside of the River City Wrestling Con this weekend, what's the best way they can keep up with you?
Also, before I get to that, bro, I want to talk about, for the first time in my life, I did my first movie last year, and that was thanks to River City Con. I met somebody there that took me under their wing, and I was in my first movie. I want the fans to check that out too, you know, because it's a good movie. It's a Tubi movie, but, you know, to get started, you know, that's how you start. You start from the bottom up. The movie's called Blood Hunter, Thirst and Rage. It's on Tubi. Great movie. It was a great experience being in the first movie of my life. And there's going to be more stuff coming this year, too. The best way to contact me and check me out That's my Facebook page, Peter Ramos Fuentes. That's my fans' Facebook page. That's where you can keep up. And if you got questions and you want to contact me, that's where you can contact me.
Listen, now that this guy is a movie star, I'm telling you, we all got Tubi. It's free, so definitely go over to Tubi. Check out Blood Hunter. What was the last part? You said it's Blood Hunter, and what's the last part there, PJ?
Blood Hunter, Thirst and Rage.
Thirst and Rage. Blood Hunter, Thirst and Rage. So I'm going to have to fire that up this weekend myself. See my brother PJ Ramos make his movie debut, the first of many. And for all you wrestlers out there, this is why you want to be at the River City Wrestling Con. If you are fortunate enough to be brought in, to be one of the featured guests, you never know who's going to discover you. PJ just laid it right there. I didn't even know this. This guy was discovered and put in a movie, and now that has officially launched his acting career, and he has more projects to come. My goodness. That's what happens when you're at the River City Wrestling Con, folks. Dreams come true, not only for the fans, but also for the wrestlers. Amazing.
Yes, sir.
Amazing
and
stuff.
The most important thing is always keep God in your heart. Always believe. If you can dream it, you can see it. That's the most important thing. And dreams will come true. You got that right.
And this is why my dream is to dunk on Wemby. That's why I brought PJ Ramos here to help me do that. My calf races. I've been eating my Puerto Rican food. I've been dancing to Hector Lavoe. Okay, a little bit of Mark Anthony in there mixed in as well. You know, I've been singing like Manny Pacquiao. Listen, I'm trying to get it right. I am on the PJ Ramos system. So you never know, folks. You might see me in a Tubi movie soon as well, because I gotta be like PJ. Who knows? Maybe I will grow to be 7'3" tall, and then Wemby, you'll really be in trouble. You understand what I'm saying to you, Wemby? Okay? I got mi gente, PJ Ramos with me. Who do you got? Exactly. Listen, PJ, seriously though, brother, I respect you. I appreciate you. Thank you for always just being a top shelf quality human being. And honestly, man, I can't wait to see what you're going to do next.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, brother.
Hey everyone, this is Micah Madrid, aka Sylvia Sanchez from Wow Women of Wrestling, and you've been listening to Duke Loves Rasslin.